You good? You good, baby? We off that.
But did I sound good? I feel like I sounded good a little
You
bit.
sound decent.
Okay, well, hey y'all, welcome back to wow.
Yeah. It's just speaking. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Hey y'all, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle that.
You be alright.
Welcome back to another edition of Friends Who Smash Podcast on the Couch. Okay, so here's the funny thing. I used to have a radio show called On the Leather with Sharella. And it was about sex, love, and relationships. And I talked about everything. And now look at us, recreating it. We are recreating On the Leather with Sharella with Friends Who Smash Podcast.
On the polyester, on the microfiber. On the microfiber with Sharella and Alfred.
Why weren't you ever a guest on any of my shows? I didn't know you.
Hey,
You wouldn't have been on my show? You wouldn't have been on the Leather with Sharella?
I'm sure if you would have asked, I would have been on there.
What would you have said? Like,
What you mean?
Would
I
you
would've
have
said-
been open? Because you know my show was wild.
I'm not a closed person. I'm not a closed person.
But it was
Never
open
a closed
about
person.
like sex and stuff. Would you talk about it? Because when
Yeah.
they came on, I asked them like wild questions.
Like what? Like what kind of wild questions do you think I wouldn't answer?
Like, do you beat your dick? Like,
That's not wild.
But where have you beat it? How long does it take you to like come?
None of those questions are wild to me.
Oh, they not?
No.
So why did you say that I used to talk wild on Instagram, on Twitter?
Because on Twitter you would talk about how,
Anal sex?
Yeah, you would be so like...
What's the difference between anal sex and masturbation?
What?
Not the difference. Like, is a different level of like nasty?
I mean,
like a
you're
different level
talking
of
about
comfort?
a show. You're talking about a show where the topics is sex. Like, you know that you're going to be on the show and you're going to be talking about sex.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about Twitter. It's just the open forum for you to share your
ham.
thoughts, which means that, like, at any random moment, you was thinking about anal sex. At any random moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See? That's wild to me.
Why is that wild?
And thinking about it enough that you got to post it so that people can know that you're thinking about anal sex. Yeah, that's
how
wild.
I feel about it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, On the Leather with Sharella was wild. I've actually had On the Leather with Sharella, the X-Rated Experience radio show.
Why was everything about sex?
It's a comfortable subject for me. It's very comfortable to talk about. I don't get like squeamish.
What's uncomfortable for you to talk about?
I don't know. That's hard. I don't know what's uncomfortable to talk about.
I'm in my house. I can fart in my house. And
You
they probably
farted
didn't hear
at Spizzy.
You're right. That's kind of like my house too. That's my best friend's place.
Seriously, nasty. I don't know. I don't know what's uncomfortable for real. I don't know what's uncomfortable. I feel.
Did you feel like that all of your like the past shows or whatever were pertaining to sex because you thought that those were the things that would get you the attention?
No, I wanted a platform to be able to talk about the things that I talked about on a regular basis.
And so you saying back then all you did was talk about sex?
A lot. I met all of my friends. Even in high school, I met them, and it was because I was talking about sex, and they couldn't believe it. Like all of the girls were like so far like behind me when it came to like sex. I had already experienced so many different sexual things by the time I got to high school that when I would talk about it, they would be so intrigued. Like everybody would be so intrigued by it.
Do you wish that you would have waited to have sex?
Waited when?
I don't know. Like, just do you wish that you didn't have sex at such an early age that you waited? Do you wish that your invitation to sex or your introduction to sex was different than what it was?
Oh God, I'm getting emotional. My introduction, I was 13 years old, and it was with an 18-year-old.
Mhm.
And I just want to hug me at 13. Like, I can't even wrap my brain around a 13-year-old having sex with an 18-year-old. Like, it's hard for me to envision it as an adult and as a mom now.
Yeah.
But as for me, in that moment, I definitely was taken advantage of, I think. You know?
Mhm.
No, not I think, but I definitely was taken advantage of.
Do you think that?
I don't think that I know I wasn't valued. I remember after I had sex with him, because we lived in the same building, I would sit on the porch and wait for him to come home because he drove, of course. And he would come home, park his car. I would be sitting on the porch, and he would literally just walk right back past me. He wouldn't even say anything. Like, he would literally walk past me, go up the stairs, wouldn't say anything. And I would be so hurt. But I sat on the porch every day. Every day I sat on the porch
Why?
waiting for him. I felt like I loved him. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I wanted him to show me attention. And now I can still feel that feeling that I felt. I wanted him to see me. I wanted him to acknowledge that we did something that I know was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I did it. And I want him to see me, to say hi to me, at least say hello. You know, when you walking past me, you're not even saying hello to me. You know what I'm saying? And he would knock on my like window and be like, "Come upstairs." You know what I'm saying? And we would have sex, and the next day I'm sitting on the porch.
You had sex with this guy multiple times.
Yes, multiple times.
Like how many? Can you count? Or is it countless?
I can't even recollect how many. It was countless times.
So he would, and whenever he felt like it, he'll knock on your window and tell you to come upstairs.
Yep. This tattoo, I got this tattoo because of him.
What do you mean?
This tattoo I got, he had gotten locked up, right? And I would sneak and go see him.
While he was locked up?
I would sneak and go see him.
How long did this relationship or this situation last?
Till I was about 15.
So this was years.
That I thought that I was in a relationship with him. But he was not. You know what I'm saying? It was. But we would be on the phone talking sometimes, but it would be like random. You know what I mean? But I would go and see him, and you know, his birthday landed on the 4th day of a month, and mine was on the 4th day of a month. And so he wanted me to get a 4-leaf clover. And so I went and got this. A friend of mine at the time, her cousin did this for me. You can see how terrible it is. I was 13 years old when I got it. Look, it has a star in the middle. Look, the lines are all messed up. This is my first tattoo. I'll never forget. I didn't go to school. I went and got this tattoo. I went to the jail and I showed it to him. And he was so happy. He was like, "Oh, that means, you know, you forever." You know what I'm saying? Like, we forever. And I would go up and take him money and like everything. And I think when he got locked up, I finally felt like, oh my God, he loves me now. You know what I'm saying? Because he would be so happy. We would talk.
Yeah, because
He had nowhere else to go. You know what I
Right.
mean? We would talk, and I would be so excited to go and see him. Damn, I don't think I've ever really talked about this. This may be a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like something. Because I can still feel like that feeling of like, see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. I did not know that we were going to talk about this, but maybe that's why I did the things that I did, you know, with like talking about sex. But I can't say I've always felt like that because I was only 13.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe it had to have something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my first encounter with a boy, well, a man. and I was treated like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that I always felt like I loved him. You know what I'm saying? Like I really loved him, and I felt like that going into like later teenage years. I of course stopped talking to him because he got locked up and he got sent away, but then I got into a relationship with another older man. You know what I'm saying? And that relationship lasted for a long time. And I don't think that I was. I think now and this, oh God. And so I feel like now that I'm older and I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? I know what I need and stuff like that. I think that's probably where a lot of me expecting you to see me in situations where you don't feel like that I want you to not want you to see me. How can I explain this? My past relationships, I have not healed from them. And talking about it today, I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never even talked about that in therapy ever. I've never talked about that in therapy ever. And so now it just explains a lot about why I feel like sometimes I'm not being seen or I'm not first. That whole I'm not your number one. You know what I'm saying? I'm always an afterthought. And whenever I feel like I'm an afterthought or I'm thought about after you think about somebody else, I don't want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you can't treat me, if I can't be your first thought, then I don't want to be any thought. You know, and I don't know if that's a healthy way to think and to live, but all I can now, I'm talking, I'm rambling, but the only thought in my head is just me sitting on that porch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't want to cry. Oh God, I did not want to mess up my makeup. Sitting on the porch, and I'm just thinking, like, why did I feel like I had to do that? What was going on? You know what I'm saying? Why did I yearn that feeling of him seeing me so bad?
Yeah.
What was I lacking? You know, like my mom, I could talk to her about anything. And I don't know. That was that's really sad. That's really sad, honestly. I did not.
Do you think you have a healthy sexual history?
I don't. I think that it's healthy in numbers. Like it's like the numbers are healthy. I think the numbers are healthy. I think that I've had a lot of trauma bond sex. You know, I've had a lot of sex that it was because I felt like, oh, I can get him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing. That's easy. Anybody. I don't give a fuck. Celebrity, whenever. You know what I mean? Like that's easy. I'm not about to be thirsty to get it. I can get it without anybody knowing that I'm about to get this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's super easy for me. And it became like a challenge almost. Like in my mind. You know what I mean? When I was single. That's why I used to always say, I said this on my show a lot. Single Sharella is dangerous. Like super dangerous. Because whatever I wanted to do, I was going to do it.
Until you ran into me and I was
Gatekeeper.
Yeah, I
You
know,
put up
this,
the gate.
This nigga's
You got
golden.
dead bolts.
golden.
Dead bolts on the gate. Like it's
How did that make you feel?
what?
Like that you went through a life of, you know, like as you said, you know, you can get anybody. If you want to smash this person, then you'll do it. And then to, you know, run into somebody like me that's like, hey, look, you know, we not smashing.
I never thought about that. Like I never compare you now, but I only compared you to my relationships. I didn't compare you to like my long-term relationships, right? I've only compared you to that. Like he's so different. but I never compared you to my trauma bonds that I had, right? And so when I do that, that makes it even deeper, because you telling me when we first start dating that you don't, you want to chill on having sex and stuff like that. The only thing I'm thinking about is like, shit, niggas, when they had sex with me, they ready to move me in. What's up? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking, but I didn't think back to 13-year-old Sherelle. Like, what if she would have had that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't regret my life. I don't regret anything. I really don't regret anything, because I believe that everything that every decision that I've made has shaped me to be who I am. And I think that I am a great fucking person, right? But what if 13-year-old me had somebody to just talk to, like a dude to just talk to, not in a sexual way, but just like a guide. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, oh, I'm gonna take your virginity and then I'm gonna just walk past you and not speak to you. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not even there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to have you come into my life and set up a boundary that I've never heard of before, I think it restored some hope that I will be taken care of. Outside of me taking care of myself, I will be taken care of, and I can be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And that it's not just, I won't be invisible. Like, I think that any type of trauma that's ever happened to me, it's always led to me feeling invisible. Like, I'm not being seen or heard, right? The person has just vanished me. Vanished? Yeah. Vanished?
Banished.
Vanished. Whatever.
It don't matter.
And so, I guess I just felt seen. I felt like subconsciously I felt that I was worth something.
I'm glad I know that, because now when you tell me, that you feel unseen, I'm just going to stop giving you the dick. And then you can feel seen again.
That's so insensitive. I'm never talking to you again. I'm never talking to you again. Podcast is over. No, I'm never talking to you again.
Come on, baby.
Why would you do that? Why would you say that?
I'm just saying, you felt seen when I put that boundary there, so I'm just going to, go back to doing that.
To doing what?
Putting the boundary there whenever you say you don't feel seen or you don't feel heard. I'll be like, oh, okay, you don't feel heard, all right. And then
So then you go back to like invisibility? That's dumb.
That's not invisibility. You said that what you said was, you said that me
I'm never telling you nothing else again.
No, listen,
seriously,
this is what you said.
This
is what you said. You said
no, I know.
Listen to what I'm saying.
This is toxic.
Listen to what I'm saying. You said that
I don't want to listen to what you're saying. This is toxic.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You said that. I'm just trying to understand. All right, I threw a joke in there. You ain't like the joke. Cool. All right, but look. What you said was that...
I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know what you meant. I knew what you meant, but I didn't want the
to give
joke
me
to
a hard
lane.
time. Okay.
I didn't want the joke to lane. I wanted you to express. I wanted
you
you to
wanted
express yourself. I wanted you to express yourself. That's what I wanted you to do.
That wasn't cool.
All right, let's switch the topic real quick. What do you think that you... Did I ask you this before? I feel like I asked you this before. What do you prioritize first in our marriage?
I think you did ask me this before.
I feel like I asked you this before, but I have it for like a new question.
What do I prioritize first?
In our marriage.
I don't know. I really don't know.
You better start thinking about this shit, because you need to prioritize some things.
I mean, everything needs prioritization, but I don't know what I prioritize first.
Yeah.
That's a difficult question. That takes a lot. That takes some sitting down and writing and all of that. That's what that takes. That's not. I don't think that's something I can answer on the fly. That's tough.
I'm still stuck on this shit that you asked me with this. This thing has tore me up a little bit. Like it kind of like opened up some shit that I did not know was there. I knew it was there, but I didn't know that it was
I know it
that
was
it
there.
affected me so deeply.
I know it was there. I think a lot of your I think a lot of your history is, you know, I think it shows up. And I don't mean that in a, you know, I'm not using it in a, you know, hanging shit over your head or nothing like that. But, you know, I do.
That just means you gotta work a little harder
I have to work harder.
Yeah, because not work harder, but you have to be more present. Like, not saying that you're not, but it's just like because I have this stuff, right, that I have suppressed because I feel like every time I turn around, it's something else I gotta love myself even more for, and so that I can start healing. And it's just overwhelming. I see why people are out here being fucking bammers and irrational because they don't want to do the work because it's very uncomfortable and very difficult.
I think that as my wife, I definitely have to handle you with fragility. However, I think that it is unfair to put that burden on me as it relates to, you know, your healing. Like saying that I need to, and maybe you meant it as a joke or whatever, but I need to work harder. Like, that's your trauma. You know what I'm saying? I got trauma that I'm dealing with, and I expect you to give me grace in that. But as far as me, you know, as far as that trauma being healed, that's my responsibility. You have no responsibility in that. There's no way that you can do anything to heal my trauma.
No, I get that. I was more so saying like when something happens and I feel it to be present in the moment to provide like support, to be support in that moment, not to try to heal me because you can't and I can't heal you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I need you to heal my trauma. I'm just saying to be understanding of it, to be understanding and aware of it so that when you see something going on, not that I'm gonna be disrespecting you and all of that, that you just know what's going on and you can do something to like navigate how to not shake me out of it, but to be there for me, to support me while I'm dealing with it. And
I understand.
The same thing
I think the key word that you said is to be aware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be aware of it so that for real, you don't take it personal. Like meaning me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm aware that, okay, this may stem from something that happened to her in the past,
Yeah.
then I'm less likely to be offended by how it's making me feel at that moment.
Yeah.
But if I'm not aware of that, then, you know, I'm definitely can take it the wrong way, or not even like think it's about me when for real it's about
It's something that happened to me,
Yeah.
that I wasn't even aware that I had to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a
But
great.
see, like that's a hard thing though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like in marriage, like almost everything that people flip out of from stems from that.
Stems from some sort of trauma.
Yeah, or stems from some kind of history or something that you probably haven't unpacked and you don't really know where it comes from, and you attack, and then that person really thinks it's about them, but for real, it's really not about them. It's about
not.
something that happened a long time ago, and you just triggered it, but. You know, I don't know that it's a trick. Like, it's just, that's what I'm saying. This whole, and I don't even want to say marriage. Relationships is like, relationships is tough and is work. And then you add marriage on top of that, sex and kids and financial responsibility and
Entrepreneurship.
all of that. God damn.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying it like it's not worth it. I'm just saying that, yo, this is work. It is work. It is work.
That's why you gotta know how to ride that dick.
That's true.
See, there I go.
That's true. But I should be mad right now. I should say, what
Why
you
should
say
you
to
be
me?
mad?
Cause when I try to make a joke, I should have made sure
See,
that
you
joke
needed-
ain't land. I should have made sure that joke ain't
You
land.
couldn't help it. It was too good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a joke, really.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's why it landed. And then you talk about riding. It would land right here. It would land.
All right, so let's go with what the mean.
What that mean?
What that mean?
What that mean?
What that mean? What that mean? Let's go with what that mean. Okay. All right. The men who don't give you no money towards your hair and your nails always talk about what you think about getting. Shit, rid of you. You know who I got that from.
Nah, the dude that you always following, but I don't know if that's who you got it from.
Yeah.
I saw this joint today where it was this dude who's he's financially wealthy, put it that way. And it was on Instagram where he was doing a podcast and they asked him about dating or whatever, and he said that he doesn't take women like on the first date, he doesn't take them to expensive restaurants. He said one thing that happened was he was like he missed out on a lot of pretty girls because he wouldn't do that. So he was going to take this girl. He asked this girl on a date, and she was like, "Cool." She wanted to pick the restaurant. He looked at the menu. The shit was like he knew he was gonna spend like $400 to $500. He was like, "Nah." And so she was like, "That's all right then. I ain't trying to go with you, right?" And so he said that she then got on Instagram on a live and was like, "Girl, I was about to go out with this nigga and I said, let's go ahead. And this broke nigga said, or, you know, he couldn't even, like, that type of shit." And the dude was like, "Yo, I mean, it wouldn't have hurt my pockets at all." He was like, "But I don't even know if you align with my vision.
Damn.
And I'm taking you out, and if I take you out and you don't align with my vision, then, you know, I'm wasting money. Like, I'm just
He
wasting
ain't get
money.
his ROI.
Yeah, he not getting it, or it's just not. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. But that's like, what do you think about that? Do you think that? Because there's a lot going on nowadays about women going out on dates and expecting you to take them to these, you know, expensive joints. These
I think it
expensive.
depends on the women. Like I'm not tripping off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not tripping off of that. And I think that some women use that as some women just like it, and some women just use it because they can tell their friends that they went to a real expensive restaurant, or they can post on Instagram that they went to a real expensive restaurant. I like expensive restaurants, I do, but it's not a requirement. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do stuff that don't require like money at all, and we have a great fucking time. I think people don't know how to have a great fucking time. For real. You know what I mean? Because if you can have a great time, you can go anywhere and do anything and brag on how much fun you had, not how much money was spent.
Do you think that a lot of relationships, like, because I think if you talking about that, then you talking about friendship. In order to have fun with somebody, you know, I feel like it has to be a level of friendship or a level of
Just companionship. You don't even have to be like a friend yet. You can have a companion that, you know, you have fun with. You go take walks with. You know what I'm saying? Ride bikes with.
But if I walk with you and I ride bikes with you, we gotta have like conversation. We gotta
Right.
kiki, ha ha, blah
Right.
blah. Do you think that in this day and age that it's a lot of those type of like that type of dating, or do
No.
you think it's more superficial?
It's definitely
It's about what you
superficial.
got.
It's
and-
about
and
what you
can
got,
do
your
for me.
status,
Yeah.
who you are, how many people you know. You can get into a spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your leverage. I think, you know, I don't think that just happened, but I think it happens a lot now because of social media. You have the pressure of the pictures, the reels, the stories of what you got, what they did for you, where y'all went, how much it was. You know, those type of things. One last one. When you put pressure on a man, he runs to a weaker woman who has low standards and nothing going for herself. I said what I said.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
That's super bullshit. I've those type of memes blow me
Why they blow you?
because they just like where did first of all I feel like it's written by a woman.
This not. It's my man.
Well, the same man wrote the one about the nails in the head.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know where he got it from because evidently he don't get his nails and all of that done,
Mm-hmm.
and he don't ask a dude for the money to get it. So he's
You
getting
talking about
this
the
from
idea of it?
yeah, he's getting the idea. I think the idea of it comes from a woman, and it's just. I think that women give women.
Women give women.
Listen, I think that women give women bad advice on men. That's what I
Some
think.
women.
I think majority of women.
What?
Yep. You know why I say that? I say this is because women, because for real, women need to get advice from men on men.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
If I want advice about women, I have to go to a woman. I can't trust my friends with accurate information about how a woman feels and how a woman acts and how she may respond and the type of things that she's been through. Because if we look at a woman and what y'all been through growing up, like y'all collectively have been in like the same, y'all been through the same thing. Niggas chasing y'all, niggas trying to smash, all this type of, you know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't been through that. Like, they haven't walked a mile in a woman's shoes. How can they give me adequate information on a woman? And I think that men, to be honest with you, we go to women for advice on women. Or we hear it from y'all, unsolicited advice that y'all give us all day long about how we could be better. This is not to you, this is to all women. Like, you know, y'all tell us what y'all need from us all day. Like, all the time,
And yet,
from a young,
and yet they still don't get it.
yeah, because well,
This has
I'm
been a
not even
wonderful
gonna- let
episode.
me finish. But I think that women don't go to men, and then when men tell women about, you know, look, this is wrong or whatever, we gotta fight that because y'all believe whatever it is that y'all believe amongst each other. So that's how I feel. So yeah, that's Friends Who Smash podcast.
Make sure you go to
Yeah.
friendswhosmash.com. Get your tickets to Views from Forever the Play October 30th. It's going to be so dope. We've been talking about it on our podcast for weeks now. Please go get your tickets. If you want to sponsor people, you can do that. Sponsor the youth, community centers, recreational centers, all of the things.
If y'all want us to come to your city, send an email to friendswhosmashpodcast@gmail so that we can actually bring the play out there. Please support us, y'all. This is what we do, entrepreneurship. Oh, we got something else, y'all. Oh, let me ask y'all this. Y'all tell us. We are thinking about doing some broadcasting on Twitch.
Oh, yeah. Do y'all think we should do that?
Do y'all know about Twitch? Do y'all, you know, are any of y'all doing Twitch? Like, let us know.
Let us know about Twitch up in this bitch.
Yeah. That was corny, but we love y'all. We thank y'all. Friends Who Smash podcast, we out.
Love you.
Love you too, baby.
Peace.
Peace.
Black man in love. Black man in love here. I'm proud, she's mine. I'm loud about it, 'cause I love